1, 2, 3, 4.
In the distance you could hear the wee drum beat. Then it was getting louder and louder and louder and louder. We all would run down to see my granda coming across because he used to carry the sword at the front.
You have to make sure that they get a good breakfast before they go out, and you have to make sure they're tidy enough.
If you're going out scruffy and like your boots laces are untied and you have big dirty marks or something, people's going to be looking at you thinking, what are you doing?
When the gerbs was a lot smaller, it was nice for me to see them shouting, "Yes, Daddy," and all this here, and marching with a band. It was a lovely feeling. Like.
Well, the morning of the parade from early morning, we set up the table, about 10,000 cups. The gazebo goes up, the chairs all go out the front.
He's at it all the time, especially around this season.
This filled with orange and this was filled with orange. And it just goes non-stop.
So our first booking this morning was 7:30. So we've been going strong from we come in. Eggs, bacon, sausage, the whole works. And that kitchen is too small, there's no windows, there's no ventilation. And yet I would say at the minute they must have over 300 fries out.
Hurry up with them eggs!
And they're all knackered. My aunt lived in the Albert Street and they hosted people then. So you're going right back away to the 50s when people hosted families, and now we have a lot of Scottish people and they all come and they're different members of their family hosting here. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, thank you.
Very good. See, Scottish, they never let us down.
We come over here every year for the relief of Derry. Community's always, spot on. Can't get any better. The Irish people always make you welcome.
Yep.
This was my mother and father's house, so this is a meeting point. My father was apprentice boy as well. And this lady here's from Scotland. Yep. She runs too.
My husband's apprentice boy. I come with him, yeah.
You don't think he gets away on his own, do you? When they went to Scotland for the May Rally, they always get put up over in Scotland. And one year here, they were lying on the floors here, lying in the bedroom floors, lying in the beds. And on the 12th morning, they were sitting out the backyard having their breakfast. Whoever wants to come, comes. It's an open door.
This is my daughter Gillian's house, and it's on the roof. They've passed the whole way, so we have all the grandchildren and family and everybody in.
I remember these girls were in bunk beds, and they were done up in Barbie quilts and everything. And this 6'2" Scotchman and another coming to stay with me, and I thought, where am I going to put them in the Barbie box? was that our line of street?
25 years coming now, Dan's been staying with us.
It was such a big thing, when you were maybe 4th year, 5th year at school, getting to go to the men at night after the 12th and wearing your rah-rah skirts and all as you used to do. But I remember him saying to me, You're not going out of the house wearing a skirt like that. Get up downstairs and get it changed. And I was thinking, no, I will not.
What people perceive of the apprentice boys, and indeed all the loyal orders, is they just see the marching bands and the people taking part. What they don't realise is what goes on in the background. The fact that people are coming out, families for the whole day to enjoy themselves, and it makes it a community atmosphere. When you come from a big city like Edinburgh, everybody's very standoffish, maybe looks down their nose at you, and then you come to the village and your buildings, and everybody just was so friendly. And that started my love affair with Londonderry, coming over every August for the Relief of Derry celebrations, and December, and then it was Easter, and then it really just became any reason just to come over here, just to feel that warmth and friendliness of everybody.
You're good at the marathon, Donnie.
My father was always in everything that was going. Orange, Apprentice Boys, Black Preceptory, Masonic. And he used to always say, have a drink for me at the door. So we started off with saucepans. We ran out in the middle of the crowd and they prayed and between them and give them all drinks of water.
Band's been a big part of my life. I remember my father owned a corner shop in Tully Alley, and the young boys used to hang about the shop, and they used to complain there was nothing to do and they were bored. And I remember my father giving them £100, and first they set up a band, and they set up the Pride of the Valley flute band, also known as Pink Fairies because their coats were more pink than red. My sister carried the flag in the band. My father was the president in the band.
My dad always carried the flag, so we used to dance up and down with the banneret in between the bands, and it was just the crowds going wild, you know, with them singing. It just made you feel part of like a big family.
I remember them sitting outside G's one year, and this girl walking down and her saying in this Antrim accent, "Oh, look at them wee girls here, that's the way my mother used to dress us." And I looked at her and she looked at me, and her mother and my mother were best friends from the fountain years ago, and they all moved to Antrim and they stayed and we moved back.
My granny, she designed her own cardigans. You would get people saying, "Where did you get it? Who knit it? Can I have one?" We're like, "No, my granny made it. You're not getting one. We're special."
You sit at the side of the road and you watch the style going up and down the street, and who's better dressed than who and who's better. You know?
Some cousins don't say one from one year to the other, you know, that sort of way, because I've grandchildren from Coleraine, and there's some there from Ballymena. This is a reunion.
And when you're a young kid, that was a big day out, like, because there was no overseas holidays or nothing then. You didn't do them, but day out somewhere, maybe come to whatever town it was in, it was great, and the whole day, the bus back, and, well, yeah. But you never thought, oh, it's devices, right? It was just a part of the growing up, you know.
It's all good. All good feelings. Don't feel bad. I feel bad if I think that it's going to cause trouble. Okay. But I would love it to be inclusive.
The media image of the band culture is very stereotypical. You never hear of a good band parade. You will only hear of a band parade if there's something negative that has happened at it.
Don't be near it, stay away from it. It's all drink, it's drugs, it's fighting, it's badness. And that's sort of the impression I had instilled in me from a young age.
I remember the year of Lundy, the Lundy's parade, whenever that was the year that there was it £5 million worth of damage done to the town. Like, we all knew that year it was going to be really difficult, and Ian was playing the bass drum and the band, and it was really nerve-wracking to think that what is actually going to happen. Are they actually going to be attacked? You're going out, you're going to march in your band, but are you going to come back again?
20 years ago, there was a different atmosphere in the town. Now, the association took the decision to go and meet with the BRG and with the traders in the city, and it was the correct thing to do. We've turned it round. There was obviously a lot of trouble going on these days. Nowadays, our parades are relatively peaceful. There's little or no trouble.
Band parades in our city have become very progressive. I do believe that the setting up of the Bands Forum was a very, very positive thing to do, and they have a whole code of conduct now that I think is very important and it's very useful. The business community also had an input, so they were nearly like the honest broker in all of this. Nobody felt as if they were losing out on anything, and that was important. There's still a long way to go yet to make it friendly for everybody. There's still a bit of resistance to the parades, but it's nothing the way that it used to be.
Since joining the bands, the impression I have of them has just completely changed. It's about going out and celebrating culture. It's about playing music well. It's about looking well. It's about marching well as a band, interacting well. It's more sort of about the family orientated aspect of it, getting everybody involved. I never actually knew before that my father was in a band, and one of his friends actually messaged me on Facebook, and I didn't know who it was. I seen this guy text me, I was like, who's this? And he was like, are you Robert Cannon's son? I was like, am I? And it was actually him sent me a couple of photos of my father from like newspaper clippings and stuff from back in the day in Burntullet. If I had never joined the bands, like I would never known, and I would never have got these photographs. And like my father, he sadly passed away in 2008 there, like, so like just having these photos, it's really is something for me to treasure.
We arranged a meeting with the Bands Forum, and we floated the idea about maybe taking part in the Fleadh. Initially it was shot down, and it was no way, no effing way, we're not doing it, we're not. And then we said, well, you know, thinking the media image, thinking the kudos for the Bands Forum and for the local bands here, we're leading the way in parades. Maybe it's the next step that we could take. And after a few weeks, the idea was beginning to take shape. And then the Bands Forum engaged, and the rest is history. It was fantastic for young band members to be taken seriously as traditional musicians. We paid tutors to come down and write pieces of music, and then they played these pieces of music on stage. And for a lot of their parents, they were astounded.
Ever since I was a nipper, whenever it was coming up to the marching season, my granny's living room would have been stacked up. We trousers for the William King Memorial Flip Band, where the Killaloe accordion band, where the girls would have had the wee tartan skirts where they would have needed shortened or taken in. If there was a banner was ripped, my granny and my mum would have sewn the banner up. My mum was training me up how to sew the garments and stuff. I wouldn't have been able to do that if my mum hadn't done that.
I guarantee every uniform a man's wearing the day in the bands, a woman's ironed it.
My grandson would come over and say, Granny, go and run the iron over that for me. To get on his shirt or his trousers, make sure the seam's right on my trousers for me, and make sure his shoes is clean.
My first band, it was just, we were always together. Like, we had 4 girls at the stage, and you never seen us without each other. In a Blood and Thunder, it was never really done. So we tortured the life out of our bandmaster to get a girl front row.
Oh, I bent the rear for a long time to get on the band.
Burntullet band was always all male.
Sons of Ulster.
And even the men carried the flags then, but she bent my ear for a long time. Can I carry a flag? So I kept at the band, and then
finally
gradually they agreed to let her on to carry the flag, and then it sort of grew then.
And then what happened, Julianne?
Well, I finally joined the band.
Many parades did you do, Julianne?
Yeah, I was on it for a couple of months and fell pregnant with my first daughter, so it didn't last too long. So it took them a good bit of years again to allow other girls to join.
I filled in for you for
you
a
filled
wee
in
while,
for a wee while, but that was that.
It's a tradition that has been passed on and passed on. It keeps them out of bother and it gives them a purpose. I remember when I was involved in the community association in Tullyally, there was a group of young boys hanging about that if something happened in the state, their names was just threw out because they did it. And I remember them coming and saying to me, we want to set up a band. I said, look, set yourselves up as a wee group and we'll have a wee look at your identity. Take part in a 6-week programme, then maybe we'll see about letting you have the porta cabins for your band. They give themselves a name that was a Tullyally Young Loyalist Council. So it made them sound really important, but it also made them sound very militant. And those young boys and girls ended up doing something like an 18-week programme. And they met people like the Bogside Residents Group. They went through what's it like to be Irish and be a Protestant. And they thought that their ultimate goal in life was to go into jail, because in jail you can be a Protestant every day of the week because you can wear your loyalist t-shirts and paint murals, and so we got ex-prisoners to come and talk to them and things like that. And they eventually set up their band, but they went through that programme first, and it showed that they were disciplined enough to come. You take young people away on youth exchanges and they say, who can play a musical instrument? I think it's really important that we encourage as many of our young people to stay engaged in bands. They're nearly like youth clubs, and the band masters are nearly like youth leaders.
A lot of people have this negative impression, well, I once had, that the bands are just a nuisance, they're just a ruckus, and it's not like that at all. Whenever I was living in Dungiven, growing up around there, all my friends were Catholic. I didn't really know anybody that was into the bands or the band scene. I moved up here to Londonderry. It was sort of for a fresh start. I had no friends up here, I had no family up here, I didn't know anybody up here at all. That impression I had of like the drinks and the drugs and the fighting and paramilitaries and all this here, it's just completely changed.
Before we went on holidays, my dad got the shed put up so they could work out of it, where he wasn't getting on my mum's road and things weren't lying about the house. And because it used to be there was maybe a bit of coloured ribbon lying on the table and then threads all over the floor, and running there looking to find out where the tape is. The day after my dad died, my father got the front page of the newsletter. For 4 months the papers never stopped. He got mentioned in Belfast, the Grand Lodge of Ireland, and the Orange have a radio broadcast. He was mentioned in that. He had prayers said for him in all the chapels in the city. It was just unbelievable. The support that we got, just not from the Unions community, but from the Roman Catholic community as well. Because my parents worked in the shirt factory, there was hundreds of people they knew, and this house never emptied. My dad would have went down to any of the parades that was going. They number one, to look to see how many new possible collarettes he was going to get, because guys would wear a collarette for 60 years and they'd be falling off them. And my dad said, well, there's one like for next year.
You join their band, you have to pay £80 for a tunic and a hat, and then you have to buy a coat, and you have to...
Very costly.
The band has t-shirt printed, you have to buy them, and every time you go out to parade, you have to buy a new set of gloves. They make a fortune out of the bands.
Our business is not about making a load of money. It's about keeping the tradition going. It's about educating people, and about ensuring that whenever I'm no longer here, that my kids will be able to take on the mantle and keep it going. I would like to think that in 5 generations time that Maiden City Regalia is going to be the premier business, and that my photograph's going to be up on the wall and my great grandkids are saying, no, where's my great granda?
When you join the Apprentice Boys, you're taking an oath. It's a short ceremony at your own club. But to be a full member of the association, you have to be part of taking an oath within the walls, confirming your Protestant faith, and that you're going to uphold the principles of the association, and you'll travel over here every August and December if possible to support the celebrations.
We would sell more Apprentice Boys than we would the Orange. There's a pull there, because if you're a dairy maid, why would you want to buy a collarette that's made in the Shankill Road or in Scotland, whenever you can buy a collarette that's made outside the dairy's walls and it's dairy's made? Which means that whenever you come to the Memorial Hall on a Friday night, you're getting in to get made on the night. The guy who makes your collarette comes into the Memorial Hall with your collarette, hands it to you in your hand. Whenever you live in the city, you don't appreciate what you've got. It's the people that's outside it that appreciate it. There's some boys, it's like a whole big, I've been to the area and I've walked the walls, whereas we else we just sit around them.
When you're getting ready, it's a checklist. Boots polished, trousers, your creased, ironed in the trousers, belt polished, strap cleaned, sticks painted, your plume fluffed, hat sitting perfect. It's one of those things you just have to take appreciation.
There will not be one speck of dust, one speck of dirt, anything on that uniform. It will be down to a T. The day we have here in August is called Dairy Day. It takes you up in here, up through the town, but then you also go back over to the waterside and you go up and in through all the different estates. So you come onto Irish Street and you go up. It's not a big hill, but it's a hill.
Still a hill.
And you always have this wee woman out with her orange juice and her water. So it's amazing once you get to that point. You're just kind of like rushing to get there. Relieved to get a drink of water. No matter what, she's there. With the water, rain, hail or snow, she will be there.
And it's these people that are coming out and making it so much part of the whole day. It's not just about the apprentice boys, it's about communities, the unionist and Protestant communities coming together and making it a very special occasion.
If you're the smallest band in the street or you're the biggest band, you get the same cheer, you get the same respect. They help us to get out on the road. You know, like if we did a fundraiser and the band just went, that's not going to be enough money to keep us on the road. So the supporters coming and chipping in for the barbecue say we had or a raffle or something, and all that extra money, you know, that helps us to get our uniforms, our drums, our flutes, the buses. It makes you feel proud, like you're standing there playing your wee heart out and they're sitting singing and dancing and trying to dance with you and running in between the ranks and all. It's mad, but it's really, really good.
All I would like to see over the next few years is the association continuing to go in the road it has been going over the last, say, 10 years, where the parades are conducted in a proper manner. The membership are coming over here, not just to commemorate the siege of Londonderry, but also to enjoy themselves, to keep that great community and friendships going that have been going for years. And hopefully our association will go from strength to strength in the years to come.
I love the music. It's outdoor, so it's healthy. If you walk with the bands, I love the flutes and I love the drums. It makes me feel happy. So that's why I'm there.